in the free agent market, and we're shopping in the all-star aisle of the free agent supermarket today. Oof. And there are still some big-time names that are out there, which is the case every year, increasingly so, right? Yeah. Every year we talk about this. Here we are in February, almost mid-February, and we've got a pretty decorated all-star aisle of free agent shopping to do. So let's start with Trevor Rosenthal, who, Kenny, really kind of remade his market with a great finish to the season in San Diego last year. Where, for how much, what are his free agent shopping prospects?
I don't know how much, Matt, but I have the team. And that team is the Philadelphia Phillies, the team that had a historically bad bullpen last year. Granted, they've upgraded with Archie Bradley and Jose Alvarado. But imagine putting Trevor Rosenthal in the back of that pen, say on a 2-year deal, I don't know, 15 to 20 million in that range. Just seems to me that would make a lot of sense for the Phillies. Now, the one issue here from Philadelphia's perspective might be the luxury tax threshold if they don't want to go over. They've already re-signed Real Muto, as we know, and Didi Gregorius. They're at about $198.7 million right now, according to rosterresource.com. That puts them within about 12 million of the luxury tax threshold. Teams generally want to leave themselves some room for the deadline, so a signing of Trevor Rosenthal might put the Phillies a little closer than they'd like to be, but to me, what a nice finishing piece he'd be for that club.
All righty. I got the perfect team.
Okay.
And the perfect manager, Tony La Russa with the White Sox.
You going to put him in the same bullpen as Liam Hendricks and have co-closers?
Yeah, no, not co.
Randy Myers, Trevor Hoffman style? How'd that work?
Not even co. The fact of what we're doing right now in this sport, right, is high-leverage situations. Well, who invented that? Tony La Russa did that long before anybody started thinking about this stuff. So he has Trevor Rosenthal to go ahead and be my high-leverage guy, no problem. I won't wear you out. This is when I'm going to use you. It'd be the best thing for him.
Interesting.
I like it.
I would say Kenny's onto something there with the Phillies, because that was my first thought. My second thought was another team in the NL East, just because every year they lament a bullpen misfunction, and that's the Nationals. You just can't have enough, and I know Mike Rizzo knows that. He's got to have bullpen PTSD by this time. They got it right for about 6 weeks at the end of the 2019 season, and that perfect bullpen won a World Series. But every minute until then, it looked like the bullpen was going to be their fatal flaw, and it was going to cost them a chance.
I can see that.
So
that'd be a good fit.
Nationals for him, yeah. All right, let's hit the
Way
next
more
name.
than Kenny's team.
Let's hit the next name on this free agent all-star aisle, and that's Adam Duvall. Amazingly still out there. Underreported as a really good defender, by the way, and you might not think that based on the bat. He, after all, enjoyed not one, but 2 3-homer games last year. Harold, it was only 60 games that were played, and he had a 3-homer game twice. How is this guy's bat still out there?
I don't know. I've always been impressed with him ever since he got to the big leagues. There's a lot of offenses that can use him that I'm not totally sold on. But I do believe that I can see this guy in a Red Sox uniform.
I love that.
I can see him in Boston wearing that monster out and playing every day and doing his thing, and he can play off the monster out there in left field. Yeah. I'm telling you, that's the perfect fit.
I'm not even going to weigh in because I completely agree with Harold on the Red Sox for a perfect fit for him. Kenny, where are you having him going?
I've got another team in mind, and it's the team Harold was just talking about having 45 relievers. That would be the White Sox. Their bigger need right now is a DH. Now, Adam Duvall is not really a DH. He is, as Matt said, a really good left fielder. So he could be in some kind of mix there where they rotated guys in and out of that role. But the White Sox could use one more bat, and to me, he's a perfect guy.
Let's give him another outfielder.
Yeah, all right. Oh, some pretty good suggestions here. Here's the last
name. I so
name.
miss you being in the bandbox over there. I can't see you look over your shoulder and stare me down.
Here's the last name on the free agent market, former All-Star aisle, and this one's interesting. Ryan Braun, franchise guy in Milwaukee, and it appears that there's still a chance he goes back there on a smaller deal. But I think wherever Ryan Braun signs, Ken, it's got to be with the understanding that it is going to be for pennies on the dollar based on the gargantuan contract he enjoyed as a Milwaukee Brewer. Diminishing returns, but still a guy that can hit. Where for Ryan Braun this year?
Matt, to me, the question is not where. The question is, will he play? And he has talked about possibly retiring. And the owner, Mark Attanasio, actually had a slip a couple of weeks ago where he kind of hinted that Braun was retiring, then took it back right away. If he plays, he's playing for the Brewers. That's his team. That is the team that endured the difficult times with him when he had that issue with the tester and all of that stuff. So I don't see him going anywhere else. What's interesting to me is whether he even signs in the next couple of weeks or whether he waits maybe a couple of months. He's had a lot of injury issues. He's a guy who could step in maybe in the middle of July after, of course, going to the minors and obviously getting himself into shape and maybe then contribute. But if he plays, I feel quite confident that it will be with the Brewers.
Well, if Ryan Braun, to me, if there's a team for him that's perfect, and the role he's in, where he's at in his career right now, pinch hitter, play every now and then on a Sunday afternoon, that type of stuff, the Dodgers. They can use the right-handed bat off the bench. They lost Kiki Hernandez. They don't know what's going to happen with Justin Turner, even if Turner came back. This team's built to win. If I'm Ryan Braun, I'm going, why am I going back to Milwaukee? Are we really going to go through this again and think we're going to win a World Series? They're not. Not right now. Sorry, but they're not. The Dodgers are the class to beat right now, and he knows today he signs a contract. He's in the postseason.
Interesting.
That's it.
Lives in LA in the offseason. There's a little sense to that, too. Some good suggestions.
You didn't come up with anything?
No, I don't have anything for him because I agree with Kenny. It feels like Milwaukee or nowhere for him this year. It's really going to depend on his appetite to play for a very small incentive-laden deal, if not very small deal, period. If he wants to do that.
I can just see him with the Dodgers.